iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans, to, well, what will be a great race starting here at Kansas Speedway. In just a couple of seconds, these drivers are going to finish up their qualifying session here from Kansas to start the round of 8. Drivers that have made the final 8 cut, well, that's DJ Anderson, Max Terrill, Eric Johnson, Jason Wells, Michael Trevarthen, Sean Single, James Skelton, and Chris Hammett. Which one of these drivers will be celebrating after this event here tonight? Or will it be one of the other drivers, Brandon Minto, Jeffrey Souza, maybe the dark horse of Brandon Feeney? I heard even Joshua Buckley might even try to turn a lap here tonight to get his Granny Hips entry towards the front of this field here tonight. This race, well, I said it's the first race of the round of 8. We have 8 drivers that will enter here at Kansas, and, well, maybe one of them will lock themselves into the championship 4. You can get that championship 4 nod here tonight to go to Texas just by finishing first. You got to cross that start-finish line right there before any of your other competitors. So we will see, because next week we head to the Bristol Motor Speedway. What do you say, race fans? Are we going to go race on dirt, or are we going to keep it on the old asphalt side of things? Well, concrete, I guess we should really say. Hasn't been since the 80s that Bristol has been asphalt, and now it's dirt. But unfortunately for all you race fans that are tuning in here, we can confirm it's not going to be Bristol dirt. We know that was an exciting race we all got to see today with the trucks and the Cup cars. Congratulations to all those drivers for being some of the best talented and skilled drivers to race on dirt with NASCAR. But tonight, it's all about the stars and cars here tonight for the SimBox 135. It's the round of 8 for the RV Custom Rig Scrambler Series, presented by Red Light Racing. A look down upon the track, and right there's Gatorade Victory Lane. Which one of these drivers will be standing there with their car after tonight's event? 25 drivers have shown up here tonight to battle at this track. Well, it looks like qualifying is officially in the books here tonight, and we will be getting ready to go racing. Starting lineup coming at you, and this is what it is. Your starting lineup brought to us by the Green Forest Tree Supply. Get your seeds today for your tree tomorrow. This is your front row. Driving out of Norman, Oklahoma, driving the number 5 machine. This is Brandon Minto. Starting P number 2 here tonight, driving the number 51. This is DJ Anderson. Rolling off from position number 3, he hails out of South Carolina, just off a camping trip. This is the 01 of Richard Murdoch. Starting in the 4th position from up north, driving the number 4, this is Jeffrey Souza. Starting from the 5th position, he hails from even farther north. It's the 42. It's Mad Max Terriel. Starting in the 6th position, driving the number 33 Dirty Mo Radio, this is Eric Johnson. Travis Minto in the 919. He'll be the highest starting rookie of the evening. Travis Minto will roll off in the 7th position. 8th here tonight, he drives the Alienware Chevrolet, number 64. This is Jason Wells. Starting in the 9th position, driving for the RPM Motorsports, number 31. This is Michael Trevarthen. Rounding out the top 10, hailing from Ontario, Canada, it's the Beefy Motorsports K1 Graphic Liquid Motley, number 938 of Brandon Feeney. Behind him, it's the Rev Esports, number 11, Mechanic Advisor, number 11 of Sean Single. Starting in position number 12, it's the Serrano Brothers Racing, number 43, the Green Tree Forest Supply driver. This is Joe Strano. Starting back into the 13th starting spot here tonight as everybody's getting ready, it's the Chick-fil-A, number 15, of Dustin Gainey. Rolling off 14th, he's got a lot of work to do here tonight. It's the 86 of James Skelton. Starting in the number 15th position, driving the 906, this is Chris Hammett. Starting in position number 16 here, the driver out of Pennsylvania. This is going to be the Renaissance Nutrition number 84 of Christopher Rothrock. Starting in position number 17 here tonight, this is going to be Tim Combs. Starting in position 18 will be Ryan O'Donnell. Starting in 19th will be Rob Higgins with Doug Neal in the SimBox 77, starting there in the number 20th starting spot. 21st will go to Kevin O'Brien here tonight. 22nd to Zach Mitchell. 23rd will go to Tony Schrenel with Josh Buckley, 24th, and Bob Higgins rounding out the field. That's your Green Forest Tree Supply starting lineup. Getting ready to go racing here tonight, race fans. Thank you for joining us here from the Kansas Speedway. We're getting ready as Brandon Minto will lead us off of turn number 4 with his first pole of the season. The Norman, Oklahoma driver will open it up here tonight in the SimBox 135. We are green flag racing. The green flag is up, and you can see Brandon Minto go down to the bottom side of the speedway to try and block Richard Murdoch. 90 laps on the docket here tonight. Minto going to lead us down off of turn number 2. The outside lane for DJ Anderson was not the place to be, and he went straight from the top side of the speedway down to the bottom side. He'll get ahead of the 919 of Travis Minto. Brandon Minto, though, going to leave the bottom side open. And that just means one thing. Here comes the Adventure in Pixels, number 1 of Richard Murdoch. He'll lead tonight's lap number 1 here tonight in our SimBox 135. So Murdoch has the top spot here, but boy, look behind him. Here comes the number 42 of Max Terriel. One of them way down yonder there, down the back straightaway. That's the 43 of Joe Strano. He's down off the pace. He'll reinsert himself, and actually that's going to be Kevin O'Brien that went even farther down. Now you see the driver out of Australia. He's going to try and gather up the 184 machine. The driver out of Newcastle, Australia. So he gathers it up, but he's going to drop, it looks like about 7, 8, 9 positions actually on the timing and scoring. So he'll get back at it. Drivers starting to single file themselves out. You got to go outside your top 10 right now to find a battle that's side by side. And there's the 43 of Joe Strano. There's the 17 of Tim Combs. Two drivers that were in the championship standings coming into tonight are no longer battling for a championship. They're battling for the best of the rest right now, and they are battling to try and get themselves inside the top 10 here tonight. Battling right now, Joe Strano is in that 43 machine. He's back there running in the 16th position on our timing and scoring charts here tonight. There you see the 84 of Rothrock, the driver out of Pennsylvania. Renaissance Nutrition machine. Drivers are all side by side. The top 10 have all gone single file, so there's nothing going on except for this battle right here. Brandon Minto, he was looking for a moment as he had DJ Anderson peek into the inside of him. Now that's the 33 of Eric Johnson. You notice all your Chase competitor drivers are labeled in red here tonight. All drivers tonight are in red. If one of those drivers win tonight that are in red, they will transform into being green, and that is where you want to be at the end of the night. You want to be green. Well, here comes the 31 of Michael Trevarth, and he'll work the inside of the Speedway. He's trying to get around the number 5 of Brandon Minto and knock him back a position or two here tonight yet. Everybody's still packed up. Only one driver off the back of the field, and that's Kevin O'Brien. Brandon Feeney in his Tide Ride is back here. He follows Bob Higgins in the Bobcat Checker Flag Auto Supply, number 941. And then it's Granny Hips Joshua Buckley in the draft top entry. He just tags on to the back of the field right now. Joe Strano is up a little bit farther, but that's Tony Strano there. Ralph Rock is not going anywhere as Tony Strano's right there. Actually, sorry. Joe Strano, Tony Strano, both of them to the outside. It's actually Joe Strano right there that's trying to pick his way through the outside groove, following the number 64 of Jason Wells as they work down the back straightaway. A lot of these drivers coming into tonight said that this track used to be a high lane track for these truckers. Right now, these drivers are all right around that white line, down the bottom, in the corners. Will we see the groove start to move up once the tires wear out, as they're just about 3 wide down the back straightaway? There's the Rhino Donnie, number 98 Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry. You see him hovering right above the number 40 of Rob Higgins. That's the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Ford F-150 here tonight. He's picked up 1 spot since the drop of the green flag, but Zach Mitchell, who has picked up 3 spots, would like to put him back 1 more spot here. Put him a little bit farther back on the timing and scoring charts. Great racing we've had so far here tonight. Remember, this is for a chance to go to the Final Four here tonight. You win and you will advance. Of course, Richard Murdoch right now is the race leader. He is not in the battle to advance himself into the Final Four. Max Terrialt, though, who right now runs that number 42 machine, he is sitting there in the 2nd position. It's the highest of all the drivers that are in the championship playoff still yet tonight. Murdoch can come back across. He'll lead his 9th lap here of the evening. Only 2 drivers have led a lap. It's Murdoch and the number 5 of Brandon Minto. You see the number 33 of Eric Johnson. He's still up against the outside there, trying to work the outside groove. There's the number 5 of Souza, who almost won back at the Talladega Super Speedway. Wasn't quite able to pull off the win there, but had himself a solid run that evening. We thought we were definitely going to see him parked in victory lane. It's been a couple of years since we've seen that 4 go to victory lane. Could tonight, though, be the night that it breaks the streak? Anything can happen when you get the tailgaters out onto the track, that is for sure. We've seen a number of drivers pick up their first wins in the Truck Series. Of course, we just saw the trucks run at Bristol. And what did you think about that one tonight, race fans? Look at Gainey to the outside wall. The 33 of Eric Johnson going to get into him. Dustin Gainey tried to run the outside wall with the Chick-fil-A 15 Chevrolet. He snugged the outside wall and nowhere for the 33 to go of Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson got wrapped up in that. What a disappointment for Eric Johnson, as that is really going to kill the momentum and the horsepower underneath that 33's bonnet. Let's take a look back here and see if we can ride with the 33 of Eric Johnson. There we see it's already actually happened at that point. Right there, if our camera truck could just go back a little bit farther, we would be able to find right where we want to be here. right on board. This is with Eric Johnson. You see how it just sucked the 15 of Gainey into the outside wall. Nowhere for Eric Johnson to go. Now Johnson is still out there on track. He is well behind, though. He is off the pace, looking at it almost about 8 miles an hour difference down into the corner. So his crew is going to have a lot of damage to fix. I'm sure they're hoping for a caution flag here. We'll see if we get one of those. Right now, though, it's still the Adventure in Pixels 01 of Richard Murdoch, who is out front. Oh, Flyboy here. Flying around. Maybe his camping trip that he just took this weekend with his 2 little girls, after he figured out how to level out his camper with his levelers. Maybe he found a little bit of peace out there and got himself into the zone here after a rough couple of weeks. Wasn't able to complete last week's race at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Came in with a brand new attitude here tonight. Didn't hear a peep out of him pre-race. That just shows you how focused he was here tonight to try and get this 01 back into victory lane. So right now, Richard Murdoch leading here on lap number 17. Will he be able to hold that? You see the field has really started to break apart here on this longer run. Brandon Minto was just working the outside of the speedway there with Chris Hammett. Got around him in the Miracle Grow number 906 entry. Will he be able to hang on to it, though, is going to be the question. That time down in 3 and 4. He doesn't have the momentum built up to go back after the 906 of Hammett, so Chris Hammett picks up that 7th position. A little bit farther back into the field here, this draft top entry number 2 of Joshua Buckley started shotgun to the field here tonight, and 2 cars coming to pit road. Eric Johnson and Dustin Gainey both onto pit road. So as they come to pit road, these drivers still run side by side. There's the 2 of Buckley. We talked about how he did not make a qualifying run here this evening. He actually did not even get in a practice lap before we went green flag racing. So his first lap at full speed on the track was lap number 1 after the green flag had dropped. As you see, they're 3 wide back here. 3 wide. That's the 938 of Brandon Feeney, who just sliced his way 3 wide past the SimBox number 77 of Doug Neal, and that's the 3 of Tony Strano. Wow, what a move there by the Tide Ride. Brandon Feeney, you can pick him out like a sore thumb here tonight, race fans. Right there, you see it's the neon yellow, neon orange on the Tide Ride. Here comes the SimBox 77 of Doug Neal. He'll come to pit road here tonight. He'll be one of the first drivers to pit. Usually Doug Neal likes to crank a little bit of front brake into this SimBox number 77 when he's coming down to pit road. I just saw a great box that he actually made. He just sent it to one of our drivers out in Tennessee, and his favorite color is orange, just like ours up here in the Turn 3 Racing Network, and they were able to get a orange button box. And race fans, if you haven't seen it, head on over to the SimBox Facebook page. That's SimBox PC on Facebook, and check those button boxes out. Great prices for all you race fans out there. Also drop in the description that part of Red Light Racing, or you heard it from Red Light Racing, and I'm sure he'll be able to hook you up with something great. You want lights in that button box, he got you with lights in the button box. But right now, here comes Murdoch. He's going to give Ope the race lead. He's going to come to pit road. Richard Murdoch going to be coming to pit road. First one out of the top 5 here this evening. So as Murdoch comes to pit road, that turns things over to Max Terriel. He is going to lead his first laps here tonight. The Storm from the North, who came in probably with the biggest target on his back this season into the Scrambler Series after picking up a SK Modified Championship last season. He is here, and he is ready to rumble. This season, only 2 races finishing outside the top 10 as more drivers coming to pit road. Here comes Michael Trevarthen, Sean Single, Travis Minto, and Travis Minto going to really lock him up coming to pit road. So as he comes to pit road, there you see the 941 of Bob Higgins. He'll be coming out of pit road. One of the race leaders come to pit road because here comes DJ Anderson making a move to the inside. And actually, DJ Anderson's going to come to pit road. He's going to force those sideways for the 51 of Anderson. Sideways for the 42. Both of them going to lock him up at the commitment line. Question is, did they get to pit road speed by the time they had to get there? And it's going to be a good question. We'll see what our iRacing officials have to say. Nobody's picked up a pit road penalty so far, but all drivers at this point are coming to pit road. Your first driver out of pit road, that's up to speed, is Richard Murdoch. He's going to high, wide, and handsome it around Travis Minto and Michael Trevarthen as they come out of turn number 2. He'll be looking at a good-sized lead over those drivers after this all cycles back through. But where does Brandon Minto, DJ Anderson, and Max Terriel come out of pit road? Where are they right now is going to be the question. Murdoch will come across the timing and scoring stripe, not scored first just yet because Max Terriel is out and he is on the apron of turn numbers 1 and 2. As there goes Richard Murdoch. He will now officially take over the race lead. That's the lead that Murdoch is going to have here tonight as he works down the back straightaway. It's going to be about, almost 2-second gap back to Travis Minto. So the running order is definitely shuffled. Richard Murdoch is your race leader, so he'll retain that race lead here after the first round of green flag pit cycles. Travis Minto will pick up P number 2 for the time being. He's got Michael Trevarthen hot to trot behind him. The EcoBoost number 31 of Michael Trevarthen is running in that third position. Then it's going to be Sean Single, the mechanics advisor. Number 11, the driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts, has picked up 7 spots here tonight. Max Terriel falls back to running 5th on that pit cycle, but he's going to have some of the freshest tires of the evening. There is one pit road penalty to report, and there it is. It's the Bobcat checkered flag auto supply number 941. Bob Higgins was too hot entering pit road, and he had to serve his penalty in the pit box. Too fast entering pit road. Higgins will now rejoin the racing surface, but boy, is he down a couple laps now at this point. He's going to have to hope for a couple of those white cloth flags to fly here tonight. There's Richard Murdoch. His lead is starting to shrink, and I believe we have one driver that may have just lost his connection to the iRacing server. We'll see if it comes back, but right now, not being scored on our timing and scoring is the number 31 of Michael Trevarthen. Michael Trevarthen right now not being scored in the number 31 entry. Travis Minto is coming, race fans. I don't know if he has the draft from Richard Murdoch or not, but he is definitely starting to pull back in that 01 entry. It was almost 2 seconds at one point. Now it's no longer as they work down the back straightaway. There's your leader, their second, third, fourth, and fifth, all under a blanket chasing him down. I can report that the 31 of Michael Trevarthen has officially dropped out of this event here tonight. Hardware malfunction for the driver of the 31. We'll see if he can get back out here onto the racetrack or not. Right now, his 31 truck is sitting in the garage. So as he sits in the garage, your biggest mover, your biggest shaker here tonight, he hails out of Michigan. That's Canton, Michigan. The driver of the Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry, Full Throttle Racing 98 of Ryan O'Donnell. He has picked up 10 spots actually now as he went around Jeffrey Souza that time down there on 3 and 4. So that F-150, the call it, I'm not quite sure what color pink that is here tonight. I didn't get that in my pre-race notes. Is actually Ryan going to go down. He's going to hit the apron down there. Right now, Ryan O'Donnell is running their 8th position, starting back into the 18th spot. One driver that's headed in the opposite direction, and he's right there, a couple positions back, is the driver out of Norman, Oklahoma. It's the Brandon Minto entry. Minto did start on the front row here tonight, but look at what the race lead is now. There is no more messing around for Richard Murdoch. He's got to get on that loud pedal. He's got to try and scoot away. Travis Minto has pulled Sean Single, Max Terrell, and DJ Anderson right back into the thick of things. Down the back straightaway they come. We're working lap number 32 here tonight out of the 90 scheduled. We have been clean and green all the way to this point. There you see the 33 of Eric Johnson. Race leaders are going to come up on him. He's going to go down another lap. He spent numerous laps on pit road. He's 5 laps down right now. It looks like he's going to go 6th. He'll pick up the spot from Michael Trevarthen, who is still currently not being registered. It looks like officially he has dropped completely out of this race here tonight for Michael Trevarthen. Not what you want to have when you come into the round of 8. Travis Minto all over the back end. Here comes Minto. Minto's going to make a bid to the inside, down into the corner. He'll have the preferred lane on the bottom side of the Speedway, but can Richard keep the momentum up in his Adventure in Pixels Chevrolet? He'll fight back down the back straightaway. He'll keep the RPMs wound up into the power band of that Chevrolet, and he'll go back to the race lead. Murdoch will hold off the advances from Travis Minto here on lap number 34. He'll continue to lead this race, but will he be able to lead the next one? Sean Single just laying in the winds with his Ford F-150. It's Chevrolet, Ford, Chevrolet, and Chevrolet. First Toyota tonight in the field is back in that 6th position, and he's about 2.5 seconds back off the race lead. That is James Skelton right now. 5 trucks under the blanket. This time by Murdoch going to continue to lead this race. More battling though behind them. Ryan O'Donnell just getting around Minto a little while ago. Now here's Souza falling back a spot. Wells is also right there. Five of your top 10 drivers are championship drivers here on Monday night in the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series, trying to advance into the Final Four. Got a lot of racing left to go. Here comes B. Minto in the Keystone Light number 5 machine. He'll pick up that spot back from Ryan O'Donnell. That'll be the 8th position now. Minto, remember, started on the front row and has fallen back as far as the 11th position under this green flag run, trying to work his way back up. As Ryan O'Donnell gets passed up by one driver in the field, he's going to get passed up by Jason Wells. So Wells, who just picked up the 10th position a lap ago from Souza, will now fall back. And Travis Minto, 3 wide racing at the front of this field. Murdoch still the race leader, but it's Max Terrell who just went 3 wide, and it looks like Travis Minto maybe has touched the outside wall with the Gatorade number 919 entry. What happened to Travis Minto? Still side by side. Max Terrell going to open up the bottom side of the Speedway. Here comes DJ Anderson now. Sean Single also has fallen back a little bit. What happened inside the top 5? Because the deck has been reshuffled. Richard Murdoch has scooted back out to calling about a half a second race lead over DJ Anderson. And we're coming up on another green flag pit cycle. Can Richard Murdoch hold on until that green flag pit cycle starts to cycle itself back through once again? Truck tells us they may have something here for us. Let's take a look back. About 2 laps ago down the back straightaway, you see they're 3 wide there as Minto had a terrible run off the corner. This is the 3 wide that we were talking about. Minto's on the high lane there. Everybody else scoots through on the bottom side, and that's how Travis Minto goes from P number 2 all the way back to P number 5 currently on our timing and scoring. One driver coming to pit road right away. Here comes the Chick-fil-A, Dr. Pepper, number 15 of Dustin Gainey. He'll be the first one to pit road. Talked about how Murdoch needed to run away. Well, don't look now. Here comes DJ Anderson. The driver out of Virginia would like to at least lead a lap here. This time by, we're going to complete lap number 40 of the evening. Before we hit that halfway point in the next round of Green Flag Pit Cycles, race fans, we got to thank you all for tuning in here tonight to watch the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. presented by Red Light Racing. This is the SimBox 135 here tonight. It's the opening round of the round of 8. And, well, race fans, do you want to join Red Light Racing next year to see this great racing action that's going on as you see the 51 of DJ Anderson get to the back end here of that number 01 of Murdoch? Well, I got a solution for you. How about we head over to RB Rigs? That's RB Rigs. Rick Bell over there creating some amazing rigs. He can get you set from everything from mild to wild and flight sim right here to the iRacing.com server. You need it, he has it. Contact RB Custom Rigs today and tell him that you heard it from Red Light Racing. But back to the racing action here as it's still Richard Murdoch. He is being pressured. Boy, I don't think you could fit anything between the top two drivers right now. DJ Anderson is pushing. It's the Need for Speed Motorsports 51 of DJ Anderson all over the flame machine of Richard Murdoch, the Full Throttle Racing stable. Two of the powerhouse teams here with Red Light Racing. Closing in, look at DJ Anderson. He took a peek to the outside. Richard Murdoch slammed the door. Here comes Dustin Gainey. Remember, Gainey has been on pit road already, and he has fresh tires. Here comes Murdoch. Murdoch going to come to pit road here. He'll be the first one out of the top 15 to come to pit road. Zach Mitchell is also down there, but it looks like Zach Mitchell had a pit road penalty. Too fast entering for the 24 of Zach Mitchell. So Zach Mitchell will come back out. It also looks like his DuPont number 24 Chevrolet here tonight has had some wicked damage on it, as he has severely been into the outside wall a time or two. DJ Anderson will lead. Here comes Travis Minto, though, coming to pit road. That Gatorade Chevrolet will come. Here comes the 33 of Eric Johnson. He'll also come to pit road. So a lot of drivers now deciding the time is now to come to pit road. Murdoch has left his pit stall. He is out and away. He will go one lap down to the race leader, though, of DJ Anderson, as we're working through our second green flag pit cycle of the night. And looking at it, about 25 laps is probably as far as these drivers are going to push it. That means we're going to at least have one more green flag pit stop here tonight. Will any of these drivers? Here comes Sean Single. He's going to come in hot. Coming hot. A couple drivers coming behind him. Here comes Wells. Here comes Souza. Joe Strano is going to bring the Green Forest Tree Supply entry to pit road. A couple more drivers coming in behind. There's Ryan O'Donnell. He's actually already in his pit stall, as he is actually, correction. Diving and Scoring says he's in the pit stall, but as you can see, Ryan O'Donnell is out and about. Being told DJ Anderson coming this time. He's going to bring back Terriel and James Skelton also to pit road. And I believe that's the B Minto, number 5 Keystone Light entry it is. All of them will come to pit road. This should cycle back through to being Richard Murdoch's lead once again here. There you see the driver of the 01. He has to come back around here, though, but I'm speculating he should be your race leader. Looking at it right now, all race trucks, we should say here tonight, have been to pit road here, or are finishing up their service. As Murdoch comes across the timing and scoring, he will shoot to the top of the leaderboard once again, just after the halfway point. Richard Murdoch is your race leader. There is DJ Anderson, who's being scored in second. Well, he's going to drop to third because Sean Single, the mechanics advisor, number 11 here tonight, now goes to the top. Look at all the timing and the scoring really start to reshuffle themselves. So after all drivers coming to pit road, just one pit road penalty, and that was issued to the number 24, Zach Mitchell. Everybody else has come back out clean and ready to rumble for at least another 25 laps before we see our next pit cycle. So it's Murdoch, Single, Minto, DJ Anderson, who you see right there closing in on Travis Minto. Of course, the 51 of DJ Anderson having fresher tires, so he'll just work the inside of the speedway. He'll bring Max Terra along with him. Joe Strano back here running into the 11th position. Kind of where he's hovered all night long. 10th to 15th place tonight here for Joe Strano. See if he can work his way into the top 10 by getting around Brandon Minto. Chris Hammett has started to fall back a little bit here on this longer run. Chris Hammett has fallen back to 13th. He was up as high as running 6th here tonight, but since that green flag pit stop, it has put him outside the top 10. He is now running in the 13th position. He has to pick up a couple more spots here tonight to try and get the most points he can. The top 10 would probably do him pretty well. Anything outside the top 10 might be lackluster for the hotshot rookie this season. Right now, there's only 2 other of his competitors that are in that championship 8, who are currently sitting 24th and 25th, respectively, on our timing and scoring sheets. And that's Eric Johnson back there in 24th and Michael Trevarthen back in 25th. And of course, everybody has spread themselves out here after coming to pit road. Travis Minto has fallen back here into James Skelton's clutches. Jason Wells is right there. Ryan O'Donnell and Jeffrey Souza a little bit farther back, but they are also coming on fresher tires. We talked about how Richard Murdoch had just about a 2-second lead last time he came out of pit road. Well, this time it was over 2 seconds, and it was to the 11 of Sean Single. Sean Single, though, at the line. Take a look at the left-hand side of your screen. That's your last time by. So it was Sean Single as your fastest of the front 2. And after that, everybody else sprinkles in. DJ Anderson running in that 3rd position. Then it's Max Terrell, James Skelton, and Jason Wells. So out of your top 6, there's one intruder, and his name is Richard Murdoch. He would like to prove that he can win here this year just yet before we wave the checker flag and close the curtain on the season. But I think before this one's over, he's going to see these 2 drivers, DJ Anderson and Max Terrell, in his mirror before the night is over. Brandon Feeney in the Tide ride back here running into the 15th position. I was just checking out Brandon Feeney's Facebook feed just the other day while I was bored sitting at work. Don't tell my boss that, but we were checking out Brandon Feeney's Twitter feed and Facebook feed, and I found that he actually at one point had 2 late models in the stables, and then they went out and they tested both of them, put them side by side, tested them, found out one was a little bit faster, so they actually ended up just selling the other car. That was just a couple of seasons ago. Now he's been downgraded to just 1 late model, a Legends machine, and I believe he has his hobby stock yet, which we would call here in the States. I'm not sure what they call them. I know at Weber Valley what they call them. It's the, what is it, the 4-banging rubbers or something? I don't quite know what Weber Valley exactly calls them, but Brandon Feeney definitely getting in a lot of wheel time in the real world side of things. Of course, racing up in Canada last year, there was very limited shows in Ontario, of course, with the COVID-19 pandemic going on and all the tracks in Canada being pretty much locked down. I believe Canada went back into a lockdown not too long ago. I'm not sure if it was in the Ontario area or not, but I do know Brandon Feeney still wrenches on those cars, getting them ready and hope that he can race this season. This year he came in as a rookie here with Red Light Racing. He's had his flashes of brilliance and his flashes of what, as a couple drivers would like to say, but a battle for the race lead is not really going to be much of a battle. Here comes Sean Single. He really ran Richard Murdoch down there and just breezed on by him. Just 3 laps ago, Murdoch had about a 1.5-second race lead, but maybe Richard Murdoch knows something that we don't know. He does have 2-lap older tires than Sean Single. Is Murdoch playing the long run here? Does he think he needs to save a little bit of fuel to make it to the end? Murdoch pitted back on lap number 43, and I'm doing the math, and at this point I think he might be about a half a lap short on fuel. We'll see if we can get a confirmation from that Adventure in Pixels 01 machine, because Sean Single blew by him like he was sitting still and chained to a stump. So if Murdoch was to run this tank of fuel out, that's going to take him to right about lap number 68, but he's going to have to really start to push this. He's going to have to run each one of these runs out. By my calculations here real quick in the booth, I did take my shoes off to tell. He's going to have to run this tank of fuel out. He's going to lose a couple spots here. As you see, DJ Anderson peek to the inside. He'll take that spot, and then it's going to be the 42 Max Terrill. Murdoch has to run it out here. And then he'll be 2 laps to the good if a green-white checker were to come out. And I think he knows that. That's why he's just backing off right now. Last time by, Murdoch at the line was almost a half a second slower than the 3 cars that just got around him. So Murdoch has started to back up just a little bit. And this driver also looks like he has started to lift a little bit. Here is the 86 of James Skelton. His lap times are very comparable with Richard Murdoch. Jason Wells trying to make the pass on the number 15 of Dustin Gainey. Gainey going to scrape the wall going into the corner. That Chick-fil-A Dr. Pepper number 15 has definitely seen better days. Remember, he was into the outside wall early on, and the 33 of Eric Johnson got into the back of him. And ever since then, well, if you get into the wall and somebody gets into you, it's not going to be a good night. He's out here still making laps. He won back at the Talladega Super Speedway, and here he comes. He's going to come to pit road, and he's not going to have enough fuel on the stop to make it the rest of the way. So Dustin Gainey comes to pit road. Sean Single is your race leader. Richard Murdoch has fallen all the way back to the 5th position. It looks like about 4 seconds back from your race leader. Murdoch falling back into Jason Wells. When Wells gets around that 0-1 Adventure in Pixels machine, that's going to put your whole top 5 in red here as you see it change on the timing and scoring. Single, Anderson, Terrill, Skelton, Wells inside the top 5. I was doing some fact-checking the other day, and minus Sean Single, your top 5 drivers here tonight, DJ Anderson, Max Terrill, James Skelton, and Jason Wells. They have been all in what is considered the Scrambler Series since season number 1 of the true Scrambler Series. And DJ Anderson went to victory lane back in 2017 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where James Skelton picked up his first official win in the Scrambler Series at the Watkins Glen International Circuit. And then he backed it up 1 week later at Kansas. And then Jason Wells picked up the win at Bristol, while DJ Anderson went back to victory lane at Phoenix. So these drivers are well-seasoned veterans here. Also winning in season number 1 was Eric Johnson, and he's one of those championship drivers. So the championship drivers are represented very well here. You know, when you watch NASCAR and you watch racing divisions throughout the years, you know, drivers start to tend to peak and then they start to fall off in their elder years in the series. Well, not here, not these drivers. Minus Sean Single, like I said, who has not been here very long, or Chris Hammett, who's in the championship playoffs here, or Michael Trevarthen. The rest of those championship drivers are well-seasoned veterans, as they know how to get it done, and especially when it comes time for the playoffs, they definitely turn the wick up a little bit. But right now, they need to turn that wick up just a little bit more if you're DJ Anderson, because you need to run down that number 11 of Sean Single. We talked about Murdoch trying to save some fuel. Well, look where he's fallen all the way back to, outside the top 10. Well, just about. He's going to end up falling outside the top 10. Looks like a couple of his competitors coming to pit road here. Here comes Chris Hammett. Here comes Ryan O'Donnell. And O'Donnell going to slide it onto pit road. The Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry number 98 has spun it coming to pit road. That's not what you wanted to do if you were Ryan O'Donnell. Right on board here with the Mechanics Advisor onboard camera. That's Ryan O'Donnell going for a little bit of a slide. DJ Anderson still the race leader as he works down the back straightaway. Maybe this time by he will come to pit road because, well, Single, Hammett, everybody else is down on pit road. Is it this time? It will not be. He'll stay out. So your two race leaders right now, DJ Anderson and Max Terrell, have yet to come to pit road. Everybody else that was inside the top 10 has come to pit road. Brandon Minto stays out. Brandon Feeney also is staying out, but Skelton, Joe Strano, Christopher Rothrock, Tony Strano are all down on pit road. Sean Single was the first one of your race leaders to come to pit road. There you see Sean Singles back there running 10th. Here come the race leaders. They're come to pit road. Lock up there for DJ Anderson, which is all right because he does not need those tires any longer. He can take those tires off that Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Need for Speed Motorsports 51. They can throw those into the trash right away. Here's a risky play by Mr. Gray. James Skelton putting on 2 tires here at the end of this one, but Sean Single will blow right on by. The driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts will take back over, well, what could be the top spot here tonight. So Sean Single should take back over the race lead. DJ Anderson and Max Harrod are going to race side by side off of pit road. They're going to race it right around the inside here of turn number 1 and 2. Anderson down on the bottom, Terrill up to the outside. This is the battle here tonight. Look at them. Off of pit road side by side. They're going to both make the commitment line side by side. There goes James Skelton with those 2 tires. He's going to scoot on by. But with 20 laps to go this time by, to be just 20 laps to go, there's your race leader. 20 to go marker right now. Sean Single has checked out to, well, almost a 4-second race lead here tonight. Can he punch his ticket, or will one of the other 4 championship drivers that are inside the top 5, your top 5 drivers, championship hopefuls? You got to go way back to 17th place to find the next driver that would be in the championship hunt, and this is Chris Hammett. He has fallen even farther back on our timing and scoring since the last time we talked about him. He was running in the 12th position, and now he's back here 17th. And the next car that would get to him would be Dustin Gainey, or if he would like to go get the next car up, that's going to be a little bit up the road there, would be the 3 of Tony Strano. So Hammett's trying to do all he can do to pick up a couple positions here. Eric Johnson has officially pulled it into the garage here tonight. He is out of this event. Battle for second, though. James Skelton in the 2-tire stop. Doesn't look like it's going to pay off here at the end of this one, as he's to the outside, as there goes DJ Anderson. Here comes Max Terrill. He'll be looking to pick up that spot. So that'll put James Skelton, who had one of the hot shoes coming into the night, that'll bump him back to running in the 4th position. That's still a great day for him because he has picked up 10 positions, started way back into the 14th spot. Sean Single also picking up 10 spots, starting in the 10th position. He is currently your race leader still with 17 laps to go. Richard Murdoch is trying to work his way back up, but a night that could have been looks like a night with 17 laps to go. That's not gonna be. And of course, well, hey, the race isn't over yet, race fans. You never know what can happen. In the blink of an eye, we could, well, flip the script and turn it upside down. Right now, though, Murdoch is back here in the 7th position. He pitted on lap number 67, right along with a bunch of your race leaders, but he gave up too much time under that last cycle. Remember, he was one of the first drivers that tried to get off sequence with the race leaders, the rest of them, and try and beat them on fuel strategy. Miscalculated it here tonight. Right behind him is Joe Strano. And how about Doug Neal? Doug Neal has been pitting off sequence all night long. But as I look at it right now, Doug Neal is going to be 2 laps short on fuel. That team is really hoping for a caution flag right now. Here comes the number 5 of Brandon Minto. Minto will pound back another Keystone Light and eat another Buffalo Wild Wings chicken wing, and he'll pick up that spot from Doug Neal. That's the number 40 of Rob Higgins. He's sitting there in the checker flag auto supply number 40. He is sitting back in the 20th position right now. Well, it was once almost a 4-second lead. That race lead is now down to 2.5 seconds for Sean Single. See, Ryan O'Donnell's right behind him, and then it's the number 15 of Dustin Gainey. And then the next car will be DJ Anderson, and a bunch of others are all stacked up together here. They're going to get 13 laps to go, and I'm looking at it. Let's run the numbers last time by. Oh boy, DJ Anderson, he is coming, race fans. Let's take a look at the speeds this time by at the line. Where is Sean Single going to stack up against DJ Anderson this time? And oh boy, 0.5 of a second. That lead is going to go quick. That is not what Sean Single would like to see. Of course, they were getting that draft off the 15 of Dustin Gainey. And now they're going to fall into about just under 2 seconds there. 2 seconds, 12 to go. That time by at the line, the bleeding stopped a little bit, only 0.3 of a second faster for DJ Anderson. As you continue to see on the left-hand side of your screen, that timing and scoring, that ticker is dropping. Looks like he's going to lose at least another 1/10 of a second this lap. They do have fresher tires by about 2 laps. The question is, though, will they get there? And if they do get there, can they get around him? That time by again, 0.3 of a second faster. 15 trucks left on the lead lap here tonight. 3 drivers off the track. It's going to be the number 33 of Eric Johnson off the track in 23rd. Zach Mitchell is off the track in 24th. And then it's Michael Trevarthen back into the 25th position here tonight. 10 laps to go. The double high five from the flagman. Dustin Gainey coming to pit road in the Chick-fil-A Dr. Pepper Chevrolet. He'll have to make one final stop here tonight. Right on board here with Sean Single, the mechanic advisor onboard camera. There's Ryan O'Donnell and just peeking out around that Ford F-150. There you see it, that green and black trucks coming at him. That's DJ Anderson and Max Terriol. They are coming. It's not a matter of if, race fans. It's a matter of when at this point. Because let's see where the bleeding is this time by. 0.3 of a second gone again. Almost 1 second flat. It's now 1 second flat going into turn number 1. Everybody else here tonight, except for these 2 drivers, have spread themselves out. There's Minto, Murdoch, and Strano as your race leaders of Sean Single and DJ Anderson. Watch that closely here tonight to see if Anderson can close in on Sean Single with just 9 laps to go as they go down the back straightaway. Joe Strano, though, is back here running in the 9th position. He's trying to pick off Richard Murdoch for that 8th spot. Of course, they don't want to battle too hard and then lose the front nose here with under 10 laps to go. It's going to be a good points night regardless for all these drivers as they're inside that top 10. Biggest mover of the night, though, he drives that draft top entry. Joshua Buckley has moved up. Looks like 12 spots here tonight. That time by Sean Single was able to hold, looks like DJ Anderson at bay. Maybe a 10th quicker that time for DJ Anderson. 7 to go. It'll be 6 to go at the line. It looks like Ryan O'Donnell has gotten out of that pack. He wants nothing to do with your front runner. So Sean Single has nobody between him and DJ Anderson now. And Anderson has the draft. Right on board here with DJ Anderson. You can see that mechanics advisor, number 11 of Sean Single, out in front. Anderson trying to take the shortest line around possible. Six to go. 6 laps remaining. DJ Anderson was quicker last time by just a 1/1000th. This time by, it'd be the high. How are you? 5 laps to go from the flagman. 5 more laps of racing. Just under 10 miles of racing left to kick off round number 8 here for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. Half a second. All Anderson would need to do is a little over 1/10 of a second a lap. It's going to come down to just 3 trucks here. 4 to go at the line. Almost dead even on lap times that time. Richard Murdoch still running back here in the 9th position with Joe Strano. He'll work to the outside of the Speedway with 4 laps to go. Does he have enough to get around the outside here? We haven't seen too many moves go to the outside, and Murdoch's going to try and hang her out there. Try and diamond it off the corner here, see if he can get to the inside down the back straightaway. He puts his nose underneath that 43. Here comes Murdoch for position number 8. Strano going to go way high, wide, and handsome here. Contact, one of them sideways towards the back of the field. That's the 84 of Rothrock. Maybe he just got the boot from the Tide Ride, and he went up the track. New race leader, though, is down into the corner. It looks like Sean Single had to lift out of the throttle. Sean Single gives up the race lead as they're coming to get the popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go here tonight. And with a new race leader with 2 to go. Looks like Sean Single's having to lift a little. It looks like maybe he does not have enough fuel left in the Mechanics Advisor number 11 to make it to the end of this one. Just gave up the race lead, and he is falling quickly. With 2 laps to go, Sean Single was under 4 miles away from picking up a win here. Now it's DJ Anderson. He'll get the white flag. 1 lap to go, presented by Checkered Flag Auto Supply. With 1 lap to go, 1.5 miles of racing here tonight at the Kansas Speedway. It's all coming down to just 2 drivers. It's the Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry of DJ Anderson leaving the MK Medic number 42 of Max Terriot down the back straightaway for the final time. The last-ditch effort into turn number 3. Terriot's going to try to ride the high side. Not going to quite have it. It's going to be DJ Anderson winning here at Kansas. Max Terriot will pick up second. Sean Single will coast across the line. He'll finish in the 3rd position. James Skelton rallies for 4. Travis Minto will pick up the 5th position. Wells will come across the line in 6th. Then it's going to be Brandon Minto. Joe Strano will beat out Richard Murdoch for that 8th position. Murdoch's going to finish 9th. And Brandon Feeney with his best finish of the season. He'll bring the Tide Ride number 938 entry home in the 10th position. But what a way to kick off the first race of the round of 8. DJ Anderson will officially go racing in our Championship 4. He will punch his ticket to the Texas Motor Speedway for the championship here for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series as he wins tonight's SimBox 135, and I'm sure he's going to light him up here if he has anything left. There it is for your race fans. Your winner, DJ Anderson. So DJ Anderson going to burn them down, and while he burns them down, race fans, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back with your post-race show brought to us by Renaissance Nutrition.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here, race fans, tonight to the Kansas Speedway for the SimBox 135. It is the race number 1 of the round of 8 for the RV Custom Rig Scrambler Series, presented by Red Light Racing. All 90 laps completed here tonight at Kansas. Green flag racing all the way to the end, and these tailgaters did it once again. It wasn't a runaway and hide kind of race. Well, Sean Single tried to make it that kind of race, but kind of ran out of fuel there towards the end and allowed some of these veterans to roll him back in. And let's go down to victory lane for our Renaissance Nutrition post-race show with one of those wily veterans. It is the driver of the 51 of DJ Anderson. DJ, congratulations on your win here tonight at the Kansas Motor Speedway as you officially not only win this race, but you punch your ticket to the Final Four at the Texas Motor Speedway.
It's an amazing feeling. I knew coming in tonight that this would have a Michigan feel to it, and I was really fast there. And in the practice race last night, I felt like I was really fast. It just was a fuel strategy race, and I knew at the beginning I needed to make 23 on those first 2 runs, so I could go hard at the end. And I knew Max was going to be on that strategy with me, and that last pit stop coming off pit road, we were racing each other hard, and I knew I had to get in front of him as fast as I could and just try to set sail and get away from him. And thankfully, I was able to hold him off and get the win. And I'm looking forward to Texas now. It's nice. I can go to Bristol and just kind of relax. I feel like I'm peaking at the right time, hopefully.
Yeah, tell us about that race off of pit road there at the end. How hard is it to race side by side in these trucks, and especially down on the apron?
Well, I think first off, I might have to fire my pit crew. Pretty slow pit stops all night. I'm sure Max's pit crew was a lot faster than mine, and it was just really loose down there trying to get the throttle down. So I kind of had to yield a little bit and then try to make the pass there on a couple laps getting off. But it was a fun race, racing them off pit road there.
Well, before you go and fire your pit crew, I'm being told from the pit reporters here on pit road that actually pit road time for you in that 51 and the 42 were identical. 44.75 seconds from commitment cone to commitment cone. The difference in the pit stops were 15 flat for Max and a 14.98 for you in that pit stall. So, I mean, that's cutting it close.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It's just I looked in my mirror and he was always leaving first and had a good run coming off, and it just, I don't know, I just felt like he was faster than me coming off pit road every time.
But it got to be the greatest feeling after you did get off pit road there side by side was coming out of turn number 4 with that checkered flag waving. I mean, you already talked about going to Bristol, but how does it really feel knowing that you were in season number 1 for the Scrambler series and you picked up a win there, and now here you are many years later, what was that, we're 5 years almost into it now of the official Scrambler series, and knowing you're going back to race for a championship?
Well, it's, I won my first championship a couple years ago, and or it's probably longer than that, but I've been wanting to win another one. It had been close a couple times, and I really felt like this would be my year. But Max and James have just been, the class of the field this year, and I feel like I was probably third best going in, and I feel like I can be the underdog going into Texas, and I feel really confident after this win.
Well, Mr. Underdog, congratulations here tonight, picking up the win. The red carpet is out. The microphone is yours. Who makes this all possible back home?
Everybody at Red Light, man. I love racing with these guys. It's nice to go green flag, racing all the way through. And, my teammates, we put a lot of hard work into strategy. And, shout out to you guys, for doing this broadcast. I love to go back and watch it after the race. I enjoy it, so I appreciate everything you do.
There it is. DJ Anderson goes back to victory lane here this season. He officially punches his ticket. He will race at the Championship 4 at the Texas Motor Speedway on April the 12th. And, well, maybe he'll be able to pick up a championship here once again. But let's move right along. The second place finisher here tonight, Max. Disappointing night for you here as you're not able to pick up the win. It's still going to be a great points night, but what more did you need to do to go up there and run down that 51 of DJ Anderson?
Nothing else. I think maybe a couple of more laps to catch the draft. I fell back about half a second with about 4 or 5 to go, and I knew back at that point that it would take a lot to pass him. And I'm still satisfied with the second place. Fuel strategies usually are not my thing, So couldn't be worse.
So now going in next week already at this point, because I'm sure your mind is already focused on Bristol. You think about Bristol. Bristol can be a wild card at any point. It's sort of like going super speedway racing. Anything could happen at Bristol. What's going to be the mindset going forward, knowing that you're the next truck in?
Stay as close to the front as possible, track position, and hopefully not too many cautions and offset tire strategy to get caught mid-pack or behind. So we'll have some testing to do to see how it drives, if the middle lane will come into effect. But of course, Bristol, as the last race before the final race, is always, is the last chance for most drivers to make it in. So it'll probably be full of action.
Well, it was action tonight here, too, with the trucks, and it's the last time we're going to get the trucks out, so I guess it's a good showing. You can put that back in the back corner of the garage and wait for it for next season, but who made it all possible here tonight at Kansas?
Yep, my girlfriend, my friend Max at MK Medic, and my dad. Congrats to DJ on the win, and a solid third place for Sean. Didn't take him much to make it in victory lane, so congrats on the top three. And Josh, James, and Richard for running this Scrambler series.
There you hear it from the man north of the border. Max Terriel will be sitting pretty headed into the final race of the round of 8. He comes home second here tonight, just about, well, a truck length back from DJ Anderson. Gave it one latch-dish effort down there in turns 3 and 4, but just came up a little bit short. And you want to talk about short race fans? Man, it's got to be the guy that finishes in that third position. Sean, a rough one here, leading those last 20 laps, and all of a sudden, the truck starts to sputter. You're out of fuel. You're having to lift there the last couple of laps. I mean, could you have saved any more fuel in the early stages of this one?
I mean, now that I think about it now, I definitely could have. I probably should have stuck behind Richard a little bit longer to save a little bit more fuel before that last pit stop, just so I could have gone in when DJ and Max did. It was I was sputtering off of the backstretch coming to the checkered. So this is a tough one to swallow.
It's tough, but when you were labeled as the underdog coming into the playoffs, you know, this really puts your name back up on the top of the board here, where these guys are going to have to realize Sean Single is here to play. It's no longer a joke with this number 11.
Yeah, kind of like DJ was saying, I feel like I've been peaking these last few races right at the right time. It's been a good run. I know the truck is one of the cars that I'm definitely the best in. I feel like it's something I just run well with it for some reason. So knowing that I'm the underdog, it's kind of a good feeling. It's kind of, hopefully these guys are a little bit scared, but you know, missing that first place to go run for a championship's definitely that one's hurting.
It's gonna hurt, but just think in 7 days' time we get to hop back behind the wheel of the Cup car at Bristol. Thoughts going into Bristol?
Kind of like Max was saying, it's being up front, making sure that there's not a lot of cautions, kind of staying out of trouble. I think Bristol, it might be one of my stronger ones, just with all the short track racing I've been doing at over in the other series. I think I've come to have a little good knack for it. So hopefully I'll get a good enough finish where I can kind of fight with these guys for the championship at Texas.
Well, we'll let you go get ready and start practicing on your sim rig here tonight. Sean, who made it all possible back there in Ayer, Massachusetts.
I got to thank my mom and dad. Got to thank the people down at Esports. I believe it was sponsors are BK Paints, Platinum, RV Services, Coney Setup Shop. Thank my buddy Devin too, and then thank obviously you, Josh, and all the admins, Richard and Skelton for setting all this up, and congrats to DJ and Max. That was a fun little race we had there at the end. Just wish I had a little bit more gas.
Well, your third place finisher, race fans, he is going to come up just a little short on the docket here tonight. Sean Single will finish in P number 3. So those are your post-race interviews here with your top 3 brought to us by Renaissance Nutrition. Take a quick look here at the results leaving the Kansas Speedway as we get ready to go into the Bristol Motor Speedway. Look at the names in red. Those are the drivers in the championship hunt. Those are the drivers that we're really watching. DJ Anderson, he will officially roll over and be green next week going into Bristol. He does not have to worry about the outcome of Bristol. It doesn't matter anymore. Max Darrell, Sean Single, and James Skelton, they're sitting pretty good too. Wells right now, he's the outside looking in, along with Chris Hammett. 2 drivers that had a very rough night, though. You're going to see them a little bit farther down on this running order. It's the 33 of Eric Johnson and Michael Trevarthen. They are sitting below the cut line, and they have a lot of work to do if they want to be considered into the championship 4 once we hit the Texas Motor Speedway. Those are your, of course, unofficial results leaving tonight's first race of the round of 8, brought to us by SimBox. Race fans, you know what goes really good with your brand new iRacing rig that you're going to get from RB Custom Rigs? A brand new SimBox from SimBox PC. Hit them up over on Facebook.com. Not only were they tonight's sponsor here at the Kansas Speedway for Red Light Racing, they're also a great company to work with. They can get you your button box that you want, detailed to spec with your colors, your lights, to your door in under a week flat. So make sure to hit them up, our friends over at SimBox PC on Facebook.com. Doug Neal can get you all that information and shipped it out to you. We thank them for their continued support with Red Light Racing, just like we do with the Green Forest Tree Supply, the Renaissance Nutrition, and of course, our friends at the Checker Flag Auto Supply, along with RB Custom Rigs. But for everybody at the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing, SimBox race fans, we thank you all for tuning in here tonight to watch the race here at the Kansas Speedway. On April the 5th, you can catch us from the Bristol Motor Speedway, and no race fans, yes, race fans, we're racing with the Cup car, but no race fans, we are not racing Bristol dirt, unfortunately. We'll be at the high banks at Bristol with the Cup car and the concrete underneath them. Catch more racing action, though, this week when the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series hits the track on Thursday. But until we see you, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you at the races.